Boom, ba boom. Peace out, you boo.
Recordings. Okay, here we go.
All right.
There. I okayed it. Okay, so have you ever heard of the Sunshine Framework of for the Trusting Family Professional Partnership?
No, that one I've not heard of.
Has to do with individualization, extended learning, volunteers and participation, advocating, meeting basic needs, referring and evaluating. All
Nope.
right. What's the other question? Hold on.
You can tell me about it. Go for it.
Well, no, that has to do with that partnership thing that I was telling you about.
Oh, the family partnership.
Yeah.
If it helps you to understand what ours was like, we did the dinosaur program.
Yeah.
The dinosaur program. Dino preschool, what they called it.
Um,
Connecting up with people who had the same situations going on in their families that the families did. That was helpful for intervention pieces. I don't know anything about sunshine. Sorry.
did you ever hear of wait, do you know what an appropriate ambitious education program is?
What? No.
It has to do with, did you ever hear of the case with trying to find his name. It's like everywhere, but of course when you know that you want to look at something it's not there.
That's the way it works, right?
Yeah.
Your first video is ready. I'm sending it over to you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where am I going to get it through?
I'm gonna send it to your phone as soon as it uploads. Unless you want an email.
How am I going to get it through my phone?
You can watch it on YouTube.
Oh, I'll watch on YouTube. Oh, his name is Andrew. He was a case, you didn't ever hear his case. His parents took him out of the public school because he wasn't getting the appropriate education. He wasn't getting the ambitious education. They were just giving him the minimal, and he was more than that. So they took him, put him in a private school, and went and said, "You need to give us money because here he was supposed to get this type of an education, but he wasn't getting it. So he took him to a private school, and he got the education that he needed, but they had to pay for it. So they went to the state for money to pay for it because they should have been giving it to him in the public school.
Why? What were they hoping to accomplish?
I guess because they didn't write the IEPs that he needed, or he didn't get the neat help that he needed to be um, helped in school. You remember you told me before that the education, you um it doesn't have to be the best education, it just has to be an education.
I don't believe in that stuff, but yes. Um, yeah, I guess I could go with that. Um, I don't believe that to be true.
What?
Yeah, I don't believe that to be true. Some will say that it doesn't matter. I personally believe that every student that comes into my classroom gets the best education that I'm capable of giving them.
Right.
Some people don't believe like that, so there's that. I'm not familiar with the case you're talking about, though, so I don't want to pretend that I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it up and see if I can figure it out. But
No,
I
no, no,
sent you the link.
no, I just,
Sunshine? It's
huh?
called the Sunshine what?
Sunshine Framework. I was just curious because my book is like, well, it seems like everybody should know these things, but obviously you don't.
Florida's for Gifted program?
Uh-uh. It's
Sorry.
okay. It's all right. You don't need
I
to
have
know.
absolutely no idea what that's all about. Trusting partnerships belonging for family with students. Okay. The Sunshine Model? Yeah, I see this. Okay. It's from Springer. I love Springer. Springer's awesome. It's a book. It's a whole big thing. The abstract. After describing how roles for families of students with disabilities have changed over the last 75 years, describes the contemporary sunshine model of trusting family professional partnerships. Equity, respect, communication, advocacy, and commitment. 7 opportunities for partnership. Academic, social, emotional learning, behavioral assessment, special meeting, transition, school capacity. Oh, okay. It's basically partnerships. Yeah, this is just a general known factor that partnership with family is essential for success for all students. So
Okay.
that's absolutely. You can't have a student getting services without family support. It's impossible.
Okay.
And family who put their student who pulled their student out of school.
No, it literally it's a case.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking.
It's like everywhere.
Case study. Um,
His name is Andrew, Endrew.
I'm looking.
Andrew, his last name starts with an F.
It pops up when I type in case study. Andrew, 15-year-old Caucasian male,
Yeah, him.
conduct disorder.
What? It was conduct disorder?
According to this, it is.
And his parents took him.
Everybody, oh, this is a case study. Yeah. A 15-year-old boy with conduct disorder.
I didn't know the conduct disorder. They don't
Andrew, a 15-year-old Caucasian male, is experiencing difficulties at home and school. At school, Andrew has involved in a physical altercation with a school peer. He threatened to kill another student. Is that the one?
um no, the case was brought up under the de minimis.
De minimis?
Mhm.
I'm looking.
It was with the Douglas County School District.
Oh, Edrew versus Douglas County School District?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the parents of an autistic child withdrew him from Douglas County School because they believed the educational progress was inadequate. Later sought reimbursement of tuition and related expenses pursuant to federal law, required public schools to reimburse student parents if students if the tuition could reimbursement of tuition and related expenses pursuant to federal law required public schools to reimburse parents if the school could not meet the student's educational need. District denial of reimbursement was upheld after due process hearing in administrative court. Termination was also upheld in federal district court. The 10th Circuit affirmed finding sufficient support in the record to affirm the findings of the administrative law judge that the child received some educational benefit while in district care as enough to satisfy the district's obligation for FERPA. Yep. Okay. So what this is saying is that if they're not provide that free public education is anything. It doesn't really matter what education is being provided as long, yeah, I got it. And it's for FAPE. That's what it was. Free and appropriate public education. That's what we're looking at. FAPE. And not PE. FAPE. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at FAPE. And this one, I'll give you the link to it. They clarify what FAPE actually means. And you could go back and say the Plessy versus Ferguson Board of Education also said, hey, FAPE is okay as long as you're providing something, which is wrong.
Right.
Yep, they clarified, and this was the first time in 35 years the Supreme Court has addressed the legal standard by which courts determining whether a school has provided a student with a disability a free, appropriate public education through an IEP program or individual education program under the Individuals with Disability Act, IDEA. Specifically, in Andrew F. versus Douglas County School District, U.S. March 22nd of 2017, the court held in a unanimous opinion authored by Chief Justice John Roberts that to meet its substantive obligation under the IDEA, a school must offer an IEP reasonably calculated to enable a child to make progress appropriate in light of the child's circumstances. What that means is, oh boy, yeah. So they have to give them reasonable ability. The IEP has to match their needs with a reasonable ability to make progress. Doesn't mean they're going to make progress, but they have to provide them the ability to do so.
Right.
Yes. And this was the first time that they addressed it. Um, Determining whether a school district has provided a student a FAPE, a court must inquire first whether the district has complied with the IDEA's procedural requirement, and second, substantially whether the IEP developed through the Act procures was reasonably calculated to enable the child to receive educational benefit. It doesn't matter if they're successful or not. We deal with this every single day. We give the kids the opportunity to be successful based on their requirements and their accommodation. That doesn't mean they're going to be successful. We're not guaranteeing them that they're going to be 100% successful, but we're giving them the opportunity to do so. And what this actually says that makes a lot of sense is fully integrated in the regular education classroom. An IEP typically should be reasonably calculated to enable the child to receive passing marks and advance from grade to grade. However, what the school district said is nope. They have to be educated in a general education classroom, but that doesn't mean that they're going to get those skills. Doesn't mean they're going to get those grades. They're not going to do anything else that a child already is not being accommodated for. But the issue at hand was the applicable FAPE standards for students who are not educated in a regular education setting. The student in question was a child with autism. His parents grew dissatisfied with the IEP offered by the district, and the student's progress under those IEPs ultimately placed him in a private school for children with disabilities or autism. The dispute ended in litigation, and the district court and the Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit applied their circuit's FAPE standard, which interpreted Rowley as requiring that an IEP be reasonably calculated only to produce educational benefit and ruled by the district. Only has to produce the benefit, doesn't have to make him pass. And
Wow.
they determined that they only require the IEP provided some benefit as opposed to none. So when you go to a doctor and they give you medication and tell you this medication may work or it may not work, you really don't know if it's going to work or not. It has the potential to work for you,
Yeah.
but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. They
Right.
can't promise you that it's going to work, but all the district has to do is provide the accommodation. They don't have to make sure you pass. So some is better than none. And they upheld it. In 2017, they upheld it. We call this in our process due diligence. We have to provide you with the accommodations, we have to provide you with the skills. Everything else is up to you.
What if you do that, but it's not the right match?
That we're dealing with right now as well. There are certain things, and that goes back to LRE. Your LRE and my LRE are going to be completely different. There's nothing wrong with that. There's some situations that, as long as we are providing the best opportunity for the student, there are certain placements that are better than others. And we will always fight for the benefit of the child.
Okay. I think I'm good. I'm about to fall asleep.
Ah, what?
I gotta go because I'm falling asleep.
No, I think you got this. I think you understand. I didn't know about the de minimis, but that actually makes a lot of sense because a few years ago, we had a situation occur in our school where a family sued us because their child was not making progress. Um, but under the IEP requirements, that was all we had to do was de minimis. So he didn't win.
Well, weren't you doing de maximis? I mean, you try your darndest to write something, but just because you wrote it, it didn't work. Or what are you supposed to do in that situation? They're saying it's minimal that you're giving to them, but yet you're trying your hardest to do something. What is that?
Well, that's the difference between what this district is saying they were doing versus what teachers actually do in the classroom. We do our damnedest to make sure that the kids are successful. This district is saying, look, we did what we could. We can't do anything else. You've met maximum. That's all we're going to give you. And we did our due diligence under this process. So ask any teacher, and they'll tell you they've done everything they possibly can before they make the decision to place a child in a more restrictive environment.
Yeah.
Does that
Okay.
help you out, my honey girl?
Yes.
All right. You want to get together Sunday morning? Coffee!
What are you doing going
I'm going to
somewhere?
New York City on Saturday as long as it doesn't blizzard
Why are you going to New York City?
to celebrate my anniversary with my husband because we couldn't go away for his actual birthday because he hurt himself, so we didn't end up going.
What did
Hurt
he
his
do?
back. He hurt his back. He's fine now. but we didn't get to go because we canceled the plans. So, yup.
Well, I mean, that's an awful far, far away. You
I
sure?
know. I'm excited. I'm excited. We're going on the train.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes, we're going on the train. I've never done a train before. So,
Are you sure you're going to be home?
well, we're coming back Saturday night, like around 11 o'clock. But I mean, we could do Sunday afternoon if you want to. We could do Monday if you want to. I'm off. It's President's Day.
Oh, I work for sure.
You
Uh,
probably have to work because everybody in the brother's off on, yeah.
yeah, I'll be doing very heavy work.
Huh?
I'll be doing very heavy work.
You like your new job?
Yeah, I like the people. Today I met a lady that I don't think I've ever I've never in my history met somebody that nasty.
What
Ever.
happened?
Like every step of the way, she was nasty. Like
Not
nasty.
a nice person?
Like um she had some sort of book that said uh the patient something. I wish I knew what the book was called, but it was said the patient something, but she was anything but patient.
Oh my God.
And the patient could be read two ways, you know? So I'm going to write this girl in my books that I'm writing, because this lady, every single question I asked her, she was like, "Ah, well, it's in my chart. Like, what's wrong with you?" And I said, "Ma'am," I said, I just met these doctors. They
Oh my
use different
God.
titles. I said, "I'm sorry, but I'm not sure which one. Forgive me for asking you a direct question. I need a little help here. I'm new. Uh you should know better." I'm like, "Oh my God." So then I asked her,
Oh my
she
gosh.
says, "Well, I use the prescription fluoride." I said, "Do you use well, it's in my chart. What does it say?"
What a rude little person.
I'm like, "Oh my gosh." It was everything. It was everything. "Are you finally ready? I'll put down my book." And I'm like,
Wow. Wow.
"Oh, it was really bad." So then I got through to her, okay? And I got through to her, and she's like, pulls the toothbrush out of the bag that I gave her and says, "I get a child's toothbrush." Okay, I'll
Okay.
get a child one. No problem.